Somewhere between the edge of being alive and feeling dead.
Hey guys, just a few notes on safety in the BC backcountry. When you are doing trips like this into these remote areas like Swift Current and others, you really need to understand what you're doing. You need to be prepared. You need to know how to cross these rivers and creeks, especially when those glaciers heat up during the day. Depending on the time of day, you might be able to cross, but coming back it might be a challenge. So just know what you're getting into, have the right equipment and training. Also, when it comes to campfires, you are not allowed to have campfires in the backcountry unless it's a designated BC Parks metal fire ring. So that's number one. And the second thing is, generally speaking, if it's not a normal trail with designated campsites, you are allowed to do camping if it's more than a day's trip for your objective where you're getting to. In this case, we had a multi-day trip heading to the Headwall, which was more than a day's trip. So just know those things, be responsible, do your own research, and thanks for hearing me out.
Good morning. This is the morning damage. Some condensation here on this, but not too much. A lot more last night. Slept, I would say, somewhere between warm and cool. But here we go. Gonna head up there.
Hey guys, so just to catch up on the previous day's video, on day one I didn't show the animated track, so I'm just going to show that real quick here, where we started the trailhead, made it to the gravel braids at about 5 kilometers, and then up to the north end of those braids close to where the cabin was. You'll see that followed by our animated track heading up through the kind of harder part, and that is through the sort of bush and hilly part near the east side of the mountains up to the Headwall. So between both of those two animations, you'll see all of that, and then we'll get into our video after that. So I hope that works for you.
All right, making our way towards the Headwall. Let's see how this goes. All right, all cliffs over here, but hopefully we have a draw here. We'll see. It's looking promising. Making our way up this gully. Cliffs on both sides. And we're going right up the middle, hopefully. There's avalanche chute with basically no snow. More willows than snow. We're making our way towards the Headwall. Lots of blowdown here. A whole lot. In the summer, this would be a lot harder.
Official type trail that people use in summer.
Just to show the forest here. Probably half a kilometer up or so towards the Headwall from camp. Little draw here. Looks like usually a waterfall, but it's frozen. I'm following a little game trail here. We should catch the tail end of the mountains there. Onward. Can't believe we see a ribbon out here. We're in the middle of nowhere. I mean, I draw a route to go to this avalanche chute. There's a ribbon. Only ribbon we've seen in this north end. All right, we're coming up through this pass, almost close to those gravel flats. Another ribbon. What do you think, Gerald, of this ribbon?
It's perfect. It's a good route.
And these views, so beautiful. Getting very close. Straight ahead, an orange ribbon. Almost through this little draw. And we'll be popping down to the Swift Current, looking at the headwall pretty soon. All right, we got some ribbons there. There's the east mountainside. Look ahead. We've crested. Now we just pop down this draw to the Swift Current Flats, and we will see the headwall right there in a few minutes. Big cliff here on the west, so definitely want to follow this trail. Would not want to be up there and try to make your way down. No. Getting the views. Astounding views. There we go. And isn't that a pretty view? Another ribbon. Look at that. Gorgeous. Look at these mountains. Woo. These are the Rockies. The real Rockies. The anticipation is just wild here. Avalanche shoots, but there's more brush than snow. There's nothing to fall from up there.
It really dropped into the valley now.
We'll be seeing the headwall very soon. Hello, beautiful. Wow.
Perfect picture.
Magnificent. Headwall straight ahead over there. Right. All that green stuff on the hill. Beautiful views. Zoom right in there. This is that ridge that goes up to the Alpine Lake. For anybody who wants to see it up close. It's as much zoom as I'm getting. Doesn't look too bad in person. Not at all. This is the north end of that canyon. You can see Swift Current's frozen. Headwall's coming straight ahead. But look at these majestic peaks.
If you're not jealous watching this, you should be.
360 views. Headwall straight ahead. What do you think, Gerald? Just cresting. Just starting to light up this Valley of the Giants. Look at that snow. Ooh. Outstanding. Wow. Getting closer. Less than a half kilometer from the headwall there. Very close. A couple hundred meters. Just crossed over the creek so we could get on this side.
Yeah, they're really impressive peak back there.
Yeah. Those pointy, sharp peaks there. Before the view. Making our way to that head wall. It's literally right up this little hill. For all of you ice climbers, all kinds of ice falls here to climb. Coming right up to that cut in the head wall. Not much water here in the winter. Here it's a raging beast in the summer. Lots of easy climbing around the bottom parts, but of course there's very steep ridge, so I think you'd hit that wall. In February, strap it away, doesn't ruin the camera views. All right. Yeah, because you can't tell without a point of reference. Massive. Absolutely massive in there. Look at these views. Magnificent in here. Wow. Really don't see any need to go in there, to be honest. But marvelous view.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty wild.
Slippery. All right, Gerald, so we're at the head wall of Swift Current. What do you think?
I think everybody should come here. This is pretty impressive. Pretty impressive.
Pretty gorgeous place to come to. We did a lot of planning to get here, and the planning paid off, and now we have a track that we can share with people. A real track. I hadn't seen any from anyone, but and when we went through the hardest part, we were following ribbons most of the way, so someone had ribboned off probably the best route, because if you put ribbons you probably know the area.
That's for sure.
So I think we're going to have a good track.
We'll follow the ribbons back out, and if the ribbons, if they carry on right out to the flats, we'll be able to give people the track to catch the ribbons and come up. I know people do this in a day, but I think this is more, I'm sure some people can do it, but it's a long ways. I would suggest coming up onto the flats, set up a camp, and the next day come in and check this out, go back, camp one more night, and then go out. And it's an easy track. So,
and just a note, and if people do that, technically you don't have to cross Swift Current. You can stay on the east side. As I can see here, as we came up, we did cross just because it was more direct to come across the plains on the west side of the creek, but there's enough strip here on the east side. You can come right up to the mouth and get a view right from up there on the plain. So water crossings will be an issue in the summer and spring.
You probably want to wait until later in August, probably middle of August
or
so.
September even.
Even September. I think we come up in September.
Yeah. Yeah, and it wasn't too bad.
No, it was good. But you don't want to come up early. I mean, there's not much snow. Maybe it won't be bad, but if it snows a bunch or rains a bunch, you can see that the water is fairly high in this valley. So.
Yeah, you can see on the sides of the mouth here, it's quite a few feet higher regularly. So
Yeah. So Quincy, tell me what happened with our Quincy idea here.
There was no snow.
There is just so little snow. When we went to our campsite and we dug down, not even 2 feet of snow at the north end of the Swift Current braids. That's crazy.
Yeah, I expect it was only about 20 inches, like you said, less than 2 feet. And that just would have been a half a day shoveling snow from out on the meadow to bring it up there to build the Quincy. So Quincy was out for this trip.
Quincy was out. We set up our Durston tents, and we had a cold night. It got down to about minus, I'm going to say 17. The thermometer said 14 in the tent, but it was cold. But we learned some lessons, I think, as well. Definitely, the pad that I had, I know is improvement from when we went on the Moose River route trip there, and I had the Nemo, regular Nemo tensor. I was cold with that pad, and I felt the cold coming from the ground. But with the Extreme, I didn't feel cold coming from the ground, but it was other edges, so like sides and on top, and that's the sleeping bag at that point. So
yeah, and that's where I'm at. I've decided that sleeping bag is not quite enough for me for these conditions, even though it's a minus 25, minus 30 bag.
yeah.
It really isn't.
No.
So I'll go shopping for a new bag. I mean, we make it work for this trip, but yeah.
Anything else to say?
Not a thing. I see some clouds coming though.
Yeah, some clouds are coming. They're supposed to come around noon, and it is around noon now. So, all right, that's it.
Standing right here by the head wall. Be there soon. Of Swift Current Creek. Look at this mountain range over here. It's totally wild. Yeah, it's pretty warm with the sun. That's a wrap. Made it to the head wall. We are heading back. Get the whole surrounding view with Gerald showing the size of this wall to the size of Gerald. Does look like you might be able to climb up that chute there for an adventurous person. The angle doesn't look too bad. I wouldn't want to come down that way, but Swift Current. And right here is where we crossed the creek to get to this side. So we'll show you what it looks like. Go back. Not much of a situation going on here. As you can see, it's like, what's that noise? It's the creek. Just wanted to get these thick ice things on the side of the creek here. Looks really cool. There's a fork that comes from up there, right here. This is where the two join. Just to get some video of the footage to the south. This is what it looks like. You can see the little bump, and right between the bump and the mountain, that's where you come up, because on the right is the creek. Making our way to the left part of the hump, finding a different way back, which is the T&T way. Right, we popped out of the forest and heading up the chute there. right, so coming up to that chute area, Swift Current goes between those two. This is the big middle bump, we call it, I guess. And here's our tracks. Just about to join into them and head back through that chute. See if we have a great trail on the way back. 3/4 is great. And maybe we'll see more ribbons and make it all great. There's the chute. There we go. And the cliffs. Hopping down the chute. Quite the view here. Both sides. Nice big rock cliffs here. And some ice falls there to the left. All frozen. And we're hopping down here. All right, making our way down to the flats this way. Hoping it's a better way, but I do see a lot of deadfall. We will see. So we're making our way through this clearing towards the gravel bars. And this is a area with tons of trees because there's a big avalanche chute up there. It just mangles the trees here. And so lots of deadfall, well not deadfall, but trees to circumnavigate. Our way down, this draw goes right to our campsite, trying to avoid all the deadfall up by the side of the mountain. Here we go. Show the rock face here as we went up the gully from the campsite. This is what it looks like. Both sides. We are out on the flats. And that is day 2.
Sorry. Bitter.
Boom.